Have you ever pondered why hate, despite burning intensely within, ultimately weakens us rather than empowers us? Imagine a state of being where the internal flame of anger is extinguished, replaced by a calm, calculated focus, where instead of being driven by emotion, you become the master of your own destiny. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of Machiavellian thought, reinterpreted for modern life. In this video, we challenge the common belief that aggression is the ultimate path to success. Instead, we unveil how surrendering hate can be the catalyst for a more controlled, powerful, and ultimately triumphant existence. At first glance, the notion of letting go might seem counterintuitive to the Machiavellian ideal of seizing power by any means necessary. Yet, as we peel back the layers of traditional dogma, you will discover that true authority is forged in the crucible of self-control. This revelation is not merely academic. It carries practical, actionable strategies that can reshape your personal and professional life. Stay with us as we expose the hidden costs of hatred and reveal the transformative benefits of emotional detachment. Historical context and Machiavelli's legacy. Niccolò Machiavelli lived during the turbulent era of Renaissance Italy, a time of ceaseless political intrigue, war, and instability. In his seminal work, The Prince, he set forth an unvarnished view of power, arguing that a ruler must be prepared to act beyond the confines of conventional morality if he is to succeed. Although Machiavelli is frequently associated with unyielding ruthlessness, his observations extend to the subtler forces of human emotion. His analysis of how passion and hatred can cloud judgment presents a paradox. While intense emotions might fuel short-term fervor, they can also undermine the steady, rational decision-making required for lasting power. Key concepts. Several core ideas are central to our exploration. Emotional detachment, the ability to separate one's inner state from the volatility of external interactions. Self-mastery, the disciplined cultivation of one's internal resources to create an unassailable center of power. The cost of hate, how uncontrolled anger and animosity serve as obstacles to personal growth and effective leadership. Pragmatic authenticity, embracing a philosophy that values calculated action over impulsive emotions, providing a foundation for sustainable success. Hidden factors. Most are unaware that hatred, often seen as a passionate catalyst, is actually a corrosive force that drains energy and clarity from the mind. This video will reveal how internal conflict, manifested through hate, not only sabotages rational thought, but also creates vulnerabilities that external adversaries can exploit. Understanding these hidden dynamics is key to realizing that true empowerment comes from within, not from the unbridled expression of raw emotion. Main content: reassessing the role of hatred in power. From early childhood, many are conditioned to equate passion with strength. Yet, hatred, though it burns brightly for a moment, leaves behind a residue of instability that can prevent sustained achievement. Machiavelli's insights teach us that power must be built on a foundation of controlled, rational action, not on impulsive outbursts of anger that erode the very qualities necessary for true leadership. By stripping away the veneer of hate, you allow your inner faculties to operate unhindered. When hate takes root, it clouds your judgment and distracts you from your strategic objectives. The moment you learn to let go of such destructive forces, you reclaim a clarity and focus that enables you to act decisively and effectively, turning every challenge into a stepping stone toward power. The cost of harboring hatred. Consider the toll that sustained anger exacts on the human spirit. Hatred is a heavy burden that consumes emotional energy, distracts from higher pursuits, and ultimately undermines the capacity for genuine self-improvement. In the political realm, leaders who let their passions dictate their decisions often find themselves ensnared in endless conflicts, their energy dissipated in futile battles. On a personal level, individuals who persist in harboring hate often experience chronic stress, a narrowed perspective, and a reluctance to trust or connect with others. Such internal strife creates fissures in the foundation of one's identity, leaving little room for the introspection and self-discipline that characterize true power. Strategic detachment, a Machiavellian solution. Machiavelli posited that the most effective rulers are those who maintain a careful distance from personal sentiment, allowing them to evaluate circumstances with a cool, objective mindset. In modern terms, this strategy manifests as what we call strategic detachment, the deliberate choice to withdraw emotional investment from actions and events beyond your control. By practicing strategic detachment, you can transform emotional volatility into a controlled reservoir of inner strength. This method is not about suppressing emotions entirely, but about channeling them in a way that enhances rather than detracts from your strategic decision-making. Detachment enables you to see challenges with clear eyes, undistracted by anger or vengeance, and to act in alignment with your long-term vision rather than succumbing to momentary impulses. Self-mastery, the keystone of modern authority. At the heart of Machiavelli's philosophy is the concept of self-mastery, which transcends the mere accumulation of power. It is about owning your inner world with uncompromising discipline. Self-mastery involves a rigorous rigorous process of introspection, the confrontation of one's weaknesses, and the continuous effort to refine one's character. When you are in complete command of your internal energies, your ability to influence the external world becomes almost automatic. Developing self-mastery means committing to practices that bolster your inner resilience: meditation, reflective journaling, disciplined self-education, and the systematic dismantling of detrimental thought patterns. Such practices foster a state of mind that is impervious to the noise of external criticism. The disciplined individual understands that true authority is self-generated. It is the outcome of continual self-improvement and an unwavering commitment to personal excellence. Rewriting the inner narrative. One of the most insidious traps in the pursuit of power is the internalization of negativity and the reliance on external validation. When you let hate dominate your inner dialogue, you inadvertently script a narrative of defeat that reinforces your vulnerabilities. Reclaiming control over this narrative is essential for transforming your emotional life. By consciously reauthoring your inner story, one that emphasizes resilience, wisdom, and inherent worth, you shift the balance of power. This rewritten narrative is the foundation of a new self, one that operates independently of external circumstances. In doing so, you step into a realm of self-determination where the echoes of past hurts are silenced by the clarity of your inner vision, projection, and its discontents. A significant part of why hate persists is the psychological process of projection, whereby you attribute your own unacknowledged feelings onto others. When you project, you inadvertently grant others the authority over aspects of your inner life that you have not yet integrated. This mechanism creates a continuous loop of conflict and misunderstanding, undermining your ability to maintain inner harmony. Breaking this cycle requires an honest confrontation with your own emotions, recognizing that the bitterness you perceive in others is often a mirror of your unresolved internal strife. As you reclaim these projections and integrate them into a cohesive self, the corrosive power of hate dissipates, leaving in its place a renewed sense of inner clarity and strength. Harnessing the dynamics of influence. Machiavelli's treatises reveal that influence is less about overt domination and more about the subtle management of perceptions. In the modern context, this means that true power is derived from the careful modulation of your external demeanor, which in turn is rooted in your internal state. When you let go of hate, you not only free yourself from its burden, but also refine your personal magnetism. This refined influence operates quietly but effectively, commanding respect, inspiring confidence, and disarming hostility. Understanding the dynamics of influence involves recognizing that every interaction is a reflection of your internal world. By cultivating a calm, centered presence, you can shape the way others respond to you, ultimately turning even potential confrontations into opportunities for constructive dialogue. The price of hatred on personal relationships. Interpersonal connections are often the first casualty of persistent hate. When your energy is consumed by animosity, you create a toxic environment that inhibits trust and authentic communication. Relationships become arenas of conflict rather than mutual support and growth. Over time, the cost of harboring bitterness is measured not in victories, but in isolation and missed opportunities for meaningful connection. Releasing hate and embracing a more balanced emotional state leads to the formation of healthier, more resilient relationships. These bonds are built on mutual respect rather than transactional power, allowing for deeper, more authentic exchanges that enrich your life and fortify your inner resolve. Emotional resilience as a fortress. Emotional resilience is the capacity to absorb shocks, learn from setbacks, and emerge stronger than before. It is the mental armor that shields you from the corrosive effects of hatred. Cultivating this resilience involves a strategic mix of self-discipline, mindful detachment, and the integration of your shadow. When you develop emotional resilience, you convert adversity into a source of fortification rather than a vulnerability. This internal robustness is the essence of being untouchable, a state in which neither external jabs nor internal conflicts can destabilize you. The strategic rejection of external validation. A pervasive source of vulnerability is the relentless need for external validation. When you base your self-worth on the fluctuating opinions of others, you surrender control over your emotional well-being. The act of rejecting the constant quest for affirmation is liberating. It forces you to cultivate an inner measure of worth that is impervious to external fluctuations. This rejection is not an act of selfishness. Rather, it is an essential step toward building a foundation of genuine, unassailable power. Once you internalize your value, you liberate yourself from the dependency that has long undermined your confidence and strategic vision. The modern relevance of Machiavellian principles. Although Machiavelli wrote in the context of Renaissance politics, the principles he outlined remain strikingly applicable to the modern psyche. In today's complex world, characterized by rapid technological change, globalization, and relentless competition, the ability to navigate power dynamics is more critical than ever. The core tenets of Machiavellian thought, strategic detachment, self-mastery, and the calculated management of influence, offer a robust robust framework for achieving personal autonomy. By applying these ideas to the realm of inner psychology, you unlock a pathway to not just surviving, but thriving in a world that is often hostile to the sensitive and the introspective. Cultivating mindful detachment. Mindful detachment is the practice of observing your emotions without becoming entangled in them. This discipline is crucial for liberating yourself from the reactive cycles of hate. When you view your thoughts and feelings through an objective lens, you allow yourself to process them without over-identifying with negative states. This practice, honed over years of disciplined self-reflection, creates a buffer between you and the external world, a space in which you can regulate your reactions with calm assurance. In this state, you find that the power of hate is diminished, and in its place emerges a profound, steady inner peace. Embracing change and personal growth transformation is the inevitable outcome of confronting and dismantling the forces that seek to control you. Every challenge you face, every moment of introspection, contributes to the evolving mosaic of your inner self. The journey toward self-mastery is marked by continuous growth, a process of shedding old patterns and embracing new paradigms of thought and action. This constant evolution is not linear, but filled with setbacks and breakthroughs. Yet, with each obstacle overcome, you fortify your sense of inner autonomy and reaffirm your commitment to personal excellence. The willingness to change is what ultimately makes you unassailable. Overcoming internal barriers with critical self-reflection. Critical self-reflection is the engine of transformation. By scrutinizing your beliefs, fears, and desires with uncompromising honesty, you expose the internal structures that have long kept you captive. This process is both challenging and illuminating. It forces you to confront uncomfortable truths and rewrite the narratives that no longer serve you. Each moment of reflection is a stepping stone toward reclaiming the power that is rightfully yours. As you break down these internal barriers, you gradually emerge into a state of self-mastery that redefines your interaction with the world. Reclaiming your inner authority. The climax of this transformative journey is the reclamation of your inner authority, a state where external forces hold no sway over your emotional landscape. When you master your inner world, you transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth. This reclamation is not an endpoint, but an ongoing process, an enduring commitment to self-discipline, introspection, and the unyielding pursuit of your true potential. It is in this space of internal sovereignty that you finally achieve what Machiavelli deemed essential: the ability to let go of hate, and by doing so, to win. Integrating the lessons of the unconscious. Finally, the process of integrating the lessons learned from your unconscious is the key to transforming theory into a lived reality. Every insight gained, every moment of clarity achieved through introspection dissolves the barriers that once rendered you vulnerable. As you weave these insights into the fabric of your daily existence, you construct a resilient inner foundation that is impervious to external discord. Through this integration, you transcend the limitations of past wounds and societal conditioning, emerging as a truly empowered individual. Climax. At the apex of our exploration, the transformative truth comes sharply into focus. The ultimate power to control your destiny is not an external gift, but an internal triumph. Every act of self-examination, every confrontation with your shadow, has gradually built an impregnable fortress around your true self. In this state of unassailable self-mastery, the forces that once threatened to injure you, the persistent criticisms, unresolved traumas, and internalized doubts, dissolve into mere echoes of a past that no longer dictates your future. The dramatic revelation is both stark and inspiring. When you let go of hate and channel your inner strength, you become untouchable. This realization is not an abstract ideal. It is a concrete, lived experience that transforms adversity into a foundation for enduring success. Conclusion. In summary, our in-depth investigation into Machiavelli's timeless principles has revealed a radical, transformative truth. Letting go of hate is the key to winning in both personal and public spheres. We have dissected the illusion of external validation, examined the perilous effects of uncontrolled animosity, and unveiled a path to true power through self-mastery, strategic detachment, and the integration of the unconscious. The process of overcoming internal barriers and reclaiming your true authority is arduous, yet it is the only path to a state where nothing and nobody can ever hurt you again. As you reflect on these insights, consider the question: are you prepared to release the weight of your own animosity and step into a life defined by inner resilience and unshakable control? The journey toward self-mastery is not an endpoint, but an ongoing process, a continuous challenge to evolve beyond the constraints of external influences and internal limitations. Thank you for watching. If these insights resonate with you, please like this video, subscribe to Psyche Arcanum, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement is crucial for igniting further conversations on the true nature of power and the path to genuine emotional liberation. Remember, the key to victory lies not in external battles, but in mastering the internal war. Embrace your journey, harness your inner strength, and let go of hate, for when you do, nothing and nobody can ever diminish your power again.